guy was out trying to fly his kite, and his wife stood patiently by as he tried in vain to get the kite off the ground. Finally, she could not restrain herself any longer. She said, "What you need is some more tail." He gave her a long, hard look and answered, "For crying out loud, make up your mind. Last night you told me to go fly a kite." Reminds me of the story about these three guys decided one Friday after work they'd get together and go fishing. So about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, they took off and headed up to the lodge. About 11 o'clock that night, one of the wives decided she'd go to bed, so she turned the television set off, walked into the bedroom to get her night jacket out of the closet. She happened to glance over the corner of the closet, and there's her husband's fishing tackle half buried under his shirt. Well, right away, something's wrong. So she called the other two wives, and they started rummaging around, and they found their husband's fishing tackle. Now the three wives jump in a car, one of the other cars, and they head up to the lodge, get up there about 4 o'clock in the morning, and knock on the door. And the lodge owner came to the door half asleep. He says, "Yeah, what do you want?" She says, "Are the three fellas there?" And he says, "Yeah, but you broads can leave. They brought their wives this weekend." 95-year-old businessman walked into his office Monday morning and caught his 21-year-old secretary red-handed, caught her stealing from the company funds. And he shook a gnarled old finger at her. He says, "By golly, young lady," he says, "I caught you stealing." He says, "I'm going to call the cops." She says, "Please, Mr. Smith, don't call the cops. Think of my mother and father and little sister. Think of the scandal." He says, "I caught you stealing, and I'm going to call the cops." She says, "Mr. Smith, I'll do anything in the world for you if you won't call the cops." And this lecherous old man says, "Anything?" She says, "Anything." He says, "Come with me in the back room." Now, he's in the back room with her, and he's 95, and she's 21. Get the picture? He's huffing and puffing and puffing and huffing, and nothing happened. And he finally burst into tears and said, "Damn it, I'm going to have to call the cops." Like the story about the Detroit businessman. He left his office and he went home and he found his wife making love to his best friend. He says, "What in the world is going on here?" And the wife said, "See, I told you he was stupid." All kinds of stories. An American businessman took his wife to Paris. And for the first week, he took her to the museums and he took her to, all this wonderful tourist attractions. And finally, about the 8th or the 9th night they were there, he ambled out by himself, went down to a little Parisian bar and proceeded to get himself half-loaded, and up to him walked this girl. You know, she put the make on him, see? And he says, "No," he says, "I'm a happily married man." She says, $50. He says, "That's ridiculous." He says, $10 maybe, but never $50. I'll tell you that right now. She said, "No, no, no." And she walked away. So later that night, he picked up his wife, and they went to the Folies Bergère. And they're seated there watching it. And ye gods, he looked over. There's the girl at a table with somebody else. And all of a sudden, she leaned over and pointed to his wife. He says, "You see what you get for $10 lousy dollars?"